much for clicking on my video to watch. So for today's video, I really wanted to do a red look, so I went ahead and did this one. The eyes turned out a little bit darker than I wanted them to. I didn't really have any lighter red shades to do the look that was in my mind, so I just went ahead and did this one. Before we get on into the video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell beside the subscribe button, and then you can get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you would like to know how I got this look, then please just keep watching. Okay, I need a lot of moisture in my face today, so I'm going to start off with some setting spray. I'm going to use the MAC Fix Plus and just spray it on my face first. I'm also going to put some actual moisturizer on, and I am going to use the Clinique Moisture Surge. It is the perfect moisturizer for summer because it has this gel-like consistency and it's really cooling. It also sits very nicely underneath your makeup, and since it is so lightweight, it doesn't feel heavy at all. Now for an actual primer, I'm going to use the Smashbox Primer Oil, and even though this is an oil, it doesn't feel greasy on your face, but it still gives you that hydration that your skin needs. When I use an oil like that, I like to let it sink into my skin, so I let it sit there for about 3 minutes, just so the makeup that I put over top of it doesn't slide around. I want it to be synced into my skin nicely. So before foundation, I'm going to just color correct really quick, and I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Underpainting palette that I use in every single video. And I have been breaking out lately, so I'm going to put that green shade all over my breakouts just to reduce the redness of them. I'm running low on this product, so I'm using my finger to apply it also, just because I usually use a sponge and it usually soaks up excess product, and I don't have any product to waste. So I'm just going to apply this all with my finger. And of course, I'm going to go into this light pink shade and cover up my dark circles. Alright, for foundation now, I've got to use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I love the coverage it gives me, and I need it today because of my skin. It's a little bit too dark for me right now. I'm not sure if it's going to show up like that on camera, but I will try and make it work. Concealer, we're going to go in with the Revlon Colorstay concealer. This is a full coverage concealer, blends out so nicely. I am obsessed with it. I used this one in my How to Cover Up Dark Circles video, and it just completely takes away my discoloration and covers up my dark circles, which is what I want it to do. So I'm just baking my under eyes now, and I'm going to do my eyebrows really quickly off camera. I want to be super bronzed for this look like I always do, so I'm going to first go in with some cream bronzer. This is the Clinique foundation stick in the shade Gargantuan Golden, and I want to blend it out with the bottom side of my beauty blender. I do want to define my contour even more, and the shade that goes perfectly with this cream contour is the Anastasia Havana shade in the contour kit. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'm just going to put this shade into the hollows of my cheeks. To get more of a heavy contour, I like to use the Morphe M523 brush. It still has the kind of edge that a contour brush has, but it's thicker and denser, so it gets more product on there. And when I want to be really bronze, I like to use this brush. Alright, actual bronzer now. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. This one is in the shade Bronze, and this bronzer kind of has an orange tint to it, just like my cream contour and my powder contour did. So all the shades just go together really nicely. They kind of flow on top of each other. For the bronzer, I'm using my e.l.f. complexion brush, and it kind of has the same idea as that Morphe brush does, but it's a lot bigger and a lot fluffier. And sometimes I just like to use these types of brushes because I feel like they have more precision, and they just place my products exactly where I want them to go without worrying about the product dragging kind of onto the middle of my face, whereas sometimes if I was to use just a big fluffy bronzer brush, it will do that. And sometimes I like that, I don't mind it, but today I want to be a little bit more precise on where I'm putting my products because I'm using a lot of face products today. I'm just going to clean up my contour with my RCA Amino color powder. And while that is baking, I'm going to go on and move on to my blush. I kind of want to do an ombre effect for my blush, and I have 3 options. I have my California blush, which I think I really want to use because it does have that red tint to it. I also have this Nars blush in the shade Luster, and it's a little bit more on the peachy side, but it still kind of goes with the look. Then I remembered about this, and this is actually a highlighter, I think, but this is in the shade Blush Copper from Becca Cosmetic. It's really deep. I think if I put it a little bit near my temples more, it'll look really cool. So I'll try that. Seriously, I might end up using all 3 of the blushes, but we'll see. I'm gonna use a very light hand with the Becca one because it's really pigmented. I'm gonna go into my California blush, and I'm gonna use a bit of a denser brush to put this shade on because it's not as pigmented, and I kind of want a little bit more of the product. I really want the tint of red to actually show up on my cheeks, so we're gonna use the Sonia Kashuk number 113 brush. I'm gonna place this onto the apples of my cheeks and then blend it backwards. Okay, I think this is enough blush. I'm not gonna go into my Nars one now. Just to blend it all out, I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush without any product on it For highlighter, I'm going to use my Ofra Rodeo Dry highlighter because I want it to be really dramatic today, and this highlighter is just the perfect one. And gold goes really good with red, so I think I'm safe using this one. Moving on to the eyes now, I honestly do not know what I'm going to do, but I know I want to use this red in my Kylie Cosmetics Burgundy palette because it's just the perfect red that I kind of envisioned, but I don't really know what could go with it without making the look too burgundy. I don't really want the look to be burgundy, but I kind of feel like it might go that way just because all the other shades I have are darker, because this shade Red Ochre would go good with it, but it would make the look darker, and I'm gonna need some transition shades. All right, I'm gonna first take this shade in my Kylie palette, and I'm just gonna work that into my crease using a big fluffy crease brush. Also gonna messily blend it out onto my outer corners because I want it to be smoky, I think, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm going into my Modern Renaissance palette. I'm gonna take this shade called Raw Sienna and just do the exact same thing. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do now. I think I'll make my lid really smoky and kind of on the deeper side, and I'll use this Red Ochre shade next. And then for my lower lash line, I'll make it brighter and just use this red shade just because I don't have any other lighter shades to go with that red to make my lid shadow work the way I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I'll take Red Ochre next from my Modern Renaissance palette and do the same thing again. I'll just try and focus this one lower into my crease, but I'm using the same brush, so it might not work out. I'm gonna switch up my brushes now, and I'm gonna go in with the Luxie 229 Tapered Blending Brush. It's a little bit denser and also smaller. And I'm just gonna take this shade now from my Kylie palette and work this into the outer corners of my eyes and the outer corner of my crease. Now taking the deepest brown in this palette, I'm gonna try and smoke out my upper lash line using the Royal and Nickel detail brush. I don't want it to be a wing, so I'm just trying to smudge it out as I go along. And I only want to focus this shade on the outer part of my upper lash line. I think I want to do a half cut crease, so I'm just going to take my concealer I used beforehand, and this is my favorite brush to do a cut crease with, and this is the brush that came in the Naked 2 Urban Decay palette. I have hooded eyes, so I have to go a little bit above my crease just to create that. I like to just do it slowly and in small sections, just kind of dragging it upwards. When I get to where I want it, then I drag the rest of the concealer down onto my lid, and then I just clean up where I messed up afterwards. I'm going to set that concealer with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And I like this brush because once you're done doing the cut crease with this side, I just flip it over and use this side to set it. I'm going to take the shade Primavera now in my Modern Renaissance palette and use that for the inner part of my lid shade. I'm just going to spray my brush a little bit now. I'm just going to take a very tiny crease brush and blend out the edges where I put that gold shade, just so it doesn't cut off and have any harsh lines. I kind of want to put just a little bit more of this shade I use in my Kylie palette, just because I think I lost a little bit of the color right here and I want to put it back. Alright, for the lower lash line now, I'm going to use this red shade, and I'm just going to try and pack it on as much as I can and get as much pigmentation off of it. Now I don't know if I like it. Hopefully I'll like it after I put my lashes on and everything. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of this first shade we used on my lower lash line as well, just to try and blend out the red shade a little bit. Mascara, I'm going to use my Tarteist mascara, and then I'm going to use my fave lashes. These are the Ardell 105 Glamour lashes. Okay, lashes are on. I also put on my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk on my lower waterline, and I tight lined. I'm going to put on some of this Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme just to plump up my lips. And I should have done this while I was doing my lashes, but I forgot, so I'm going to let this sit in for a little bit first. And I actually don't know what I'm going to wear on my lips, so that'll give me time to decide. My lips are nice and plumped now, and I've figured out what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Red the Scene first, and then I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Red Velvet lipstick, and I'm going to top it off with this Clinique Pop Splash, and this one is in the shade Juicy Apple because I did want a glossy lip, but I still want it to be red. So I think that combo should work. And these Wet n Wild lip liners are my favorites. They're so cheap. They're only about $3, but they glide on so easily and they last all day. I've worn this red one quite a few times and it doesn't bleed or anything. Okay, this lip is a lot brighter than I expected, so I'm gonna try and take that brighter Kylie shade and put more of it on my lower lash line just to see if I can try and brighten it up. Okay, well, that is it for the look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I really like how it turned out because I kind of wanted the eyes on the lighter side but I kind of knew that they weren't going to be after I did all this. But I really like this lip shade, so I also don't want to switch it up. So I think I'll just leave it how it is. And if you guys have any other tutorials that you want to see from me, just let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you leave and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.